everyone, welcome to Comfort Life channel. I hope you're doing great. And in this video, we are talking about probiotics, and actually we're trying to answer the question, what is the best way for all of us to take them? Well, I am talking a great deal about probiotics, always advising to take them on a daily basis because they promote so many different great health benefits. But this question of how we need to take a probiotic is actually, it was bothering even me for a long time. So for now, I think I finally found the answer after I've done some research, and I'm really happy to share this with you. Well, before I go into the details, I just want to make sure that everyone understands what probiotics are. Probiotics are friendly bacteria, thousands of strains, and they prevent the overgrowth of pathogenic bacteria, of yeast and fungus in our gut. Well, the thing is that our gut has about 500 different bacteria strains, and 85% of this bacteria is supposed to be friendly, and the 15%, whatever is left, is supposed to be pathogenic bacteria. But if we have this proper balance, this 15% is absolutely, doesn't bother us and is always being kept under control. The problem nowadays is that many people have a disbalance. So basically, they have a greater amount of the unfriendly bacteria in the guts. The symptoms of this majority of the unfriendly bacteria could start with such things as constipation and diarrhea, as flatulence, bloating and gas. But it also might have a more serious impact on our health, and people might suffer from such things as eczema, allergies, irritable bowel syndrome, inflammatory bowel, kidney stones, ear infections, strep throat, and a lot of more different things that really doesn't make us happy and basically make us unhealthy. So if you want to improve your gut flora, it's actually not a very hard thing to do. Well, the first thing I would always recommend is to incorporate fermented fruits into your diet. But we have to be realistic here. It's not really possible for every person to have a fermented food before having a breakfast, dinner, and supper, whatever. But probiotics is a perfect supplement. It's an easy solution for everyone to try to have a better gut health. But of course, it is a huge note here is that you do not need to think that if you continue the consumption of foods that are actually bad for your good bacteria in your flora, which is sugar, too much caffeine, too much alcohol, which is which is actually processed foods. The probiotics cannot really be like, something that's gonna fix it for you. You have to always pay attention to your diet. So after all this being said, now the question is how we should take a probiotic. Should it be morning or night? Should it be on an empty stomach, or should it be after a meal? So after, really a huge amount of research, and I found a really great answer to this, when probiotics are recommended to be taken after a meal. Because the answer to this is actually simple, because there is a possibility that the high acid environment of the stomach might destroy some of the probiotic bacteria. It doesn't really matter if the probiotics say if it's time release or if it's not. It's actually all about really the stomach acid and that possibility that you don't really want to use all that great benefits, right? So to be on a safer side, just take a probiotic after a meal. Well, and another note, of course, here is that you need to make sure you're taking a high quality product here. I mean, there are tons of different probiotics out there in the market, but not all of them are really good. And if you see that on the bottle it says that it needs to be refrigerated, I would just right away say do not get that product. In the description down below this video, I will put the list of the probiotics that are considered to be the best out there. It's not any kind of endorsement, that's only based on the research. And so I said already that the probiotics that need to be refrigerated, do not get those. Probiotic culture, it should be hardy enough to be shelf stable without any refrigeration necessary. They need to have really a certain amount of bacteria strains in them, and if it's hard for you to take to swallow the capsules, you could always open them up and use them in the form of a powder. You could add it to food or to the liquid. There's also one more way of taking probiotics, which was actually a discovery for me. This is sort of oral probiotics. It doesn't really need to be a different type of probiotic, but anytime you feel that you're sick, you have runny nose, sinuses, and you are feeling sore throat, basically any respiratory disease, you could use a probiotic before going to bed. which is probably, you know, almost in an empty stomach, right? You take a capsule of probiotic and you empty the powder and you put it in the mouth and you sort of you do not swallow it right away. You swish it around in your mouth for, you know, I don't know, a minute or so, even less, and then you swallow it. It's very important, of course, so that you brush your teeth before that. And after this procedure, you don't eat or drink anything, you just go to bed. So enough probiotic will be left in your mouth even after you swallow it. And it is very beneficial for the nasal passages and actually all that bad bacteria that you might have. So this is really a great thing to do, you know, if you're sick. I think it's a great advice here. And another thing I need to tell you is that every time you're going to travel, either, you know, if you're new to probiotics, and even if you've been taking probiotics for a long time already, you need to increase the amount. You know, prior 2 weeks, you know, to your travel, you need to start taking probiotics. If you don't, and then if you do increase to 2 capsules a day, I would recommend, you know, take 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening after a meal. And on the first day of travel, increase up to 4 capsules, which will mean that you need to take 2 in the morning and 2 in the evening after a meal, the same thing. And then once you come back, you could, you know, for a week or so, leave the amount of 2 capsules a day, and then you go to your normal 1 capsule a day. Actually, every time you have a really bad gut flora, bacteria, you would probably need more than 1 capsule a day. You know, you might benefit from 3 or 2 capsules. And then when everything is normal and stabilized, of course, if you know that your diet is rich in fermented foods, you do not really need to eat lots of capsules, right? 1 capsule a day should be pretty much enough. And the reason you need to really increase this amount prior and while you're traveling is because when you're traveling, your immune system is a bit tricky. You know, there is a jet lag, there is like new type of food, everything's new, lots of new bacteria a person is exposed to. In order to avoid any type of sickness, I think this probiotic trick is really worth trying, and it's really very effective. All in all, I think this information was really easy, you know, to understand, and these tips are easy to follow. Actually, kids can also benefit from taking probiotics, and you know, same thing even while traveling or on a daily basis, and especially when a baby is sick. There's even some special infant formulas which normally come, you know, in the form of a powder, which is so easy for babies to be taken. I really hope you guys like this information and it was really helpful. Please check the description down below this video. I will put some a little bit more of the information that you might be interested in. As always, I wish you to stay very happy and very healthy. I wish you to be positive. I wish you to enjoy the new things that you're trying for your health. And if you like this video, please put the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you later.